Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel, or should I say the Airgun test session channel today. So as you see, I'm not alone today. I have two people from GOGUN USA here, because that's where we are. We are at GOGUN USA's test facility.
That's right, here in Phil's shop in Northern California, and we have a treat for you. We have lots of guns that we are going to test. These products are going to be coming out in the next year-ish, and so we just wanted to run through them all, show you what they can do, and see what your opinion is on what we should be selling.
Right, so some of the guns that we're going to show today probably won't make it into production ever because we discard them, and you guys have a say in this. And some of the guns will make it just to the US, and some of the guns also may come out for Germany, but then in a reduced power version, so that people can soup it up once the zombies come. It's up to them. But we're not going to sell illegal guns in Germany. But of course, also, I would just like to introduce my guests today. So we have Matt, who is the CEO of GOGUN USA.
Yep.
And Phil, who is, what should I say, head of R&D.
Professional yeehaw.
Head of R&D, he's also our technician, and if you call us and you've had questions about your air guns, you may have talked to Phil on the phone. This is for US customers, so some of you may already be familiar with Phil.
Right. So, and these are actually some of the guns that we're going to show you during the course of these videos. So we'll make several videos, one about each gun, and we're going to test them, and we're going to show destruction. We're going to show the speed and energy that they can muster up. And then we're going to give you our initial impression of them. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting, and as I said, it's going to be a series. So you have to stay tuned if you want to see them all. And we're going to start with the first gun right today. All right, now we have something really special that nobody really expected anymore. We have the Sixbow. It just came in from the manufacturer, from AEA, and we just put a scope on, and we also put the GOGUN laser light part on, which is legal because we're now here in the US. We also have extra arrows held in here, and it also has the barrel shroud, so that you're not bending the barrels. And it's just an amazing gun. 6 shots, pump action, and we're going to test it in terms of accuracy and also in terms of power today. Should be interesting. Whoa. 423 feet per second. Feet per second. Feet per second. So it goes over 400 feet per second. Wow. All right, now we have the zombie head. Let's see what the Sixbow is doing against that one.
You rolling? I'm rolling.
Okay. All right. Dead. Mommy, I killed a zombie today. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's a seriously dead zombie. Some of them actually poke out at the back side, so they went through both sides of the skull. That is a powerful gun. So now we have the Sixbow at the 50-meter distance. It's not shot in, of course, so I will just hold over a little bit and then hope for the best. Arrow blew up? Yep. So they came in low, but it's a pretty good group, I think. Look at that. One is here, and the other is just here. So this has to aim a little bit higher. So now it's time for the craziest arrow shooter I've ever seen in my life. They call it the JN. Don't know what that stands for. We call it
The Whaler.
the Whaler. Because this thing is so crazy. I mean, look at these 4 barrels. There are like 50 cal barrels, and it's a bullpup. So actually these arrows get accelerated all the way from here, and it has tremendous power. So they gave us, it's so powerful that they gave us 2 sets of bottles. This is the weak bottle that they say you have a chance that the arrow will survive, right? And then they also gave us a full power bottle where it's probably not going to survive. So these are the arrows. I think these are the same arrows that is also used by Air Venturi for their stuff. So what they have is they have like a 50 cal tail end and also front. So you muzzle load them, and you have 4 of them. It's a pump action gun. And these will fly out with tremendous power.
It's enough to spear a whale with it.
Now it's a heavy gun, but it's not overly heavy. I think you can still manage it. And yeah, it looks like it's very short, but the barrels are really super long. So it's going to be exciting to see how fast this shoots.
Phil has shot this before, but Jorg and I have not seen this shoot yet, so this is going to be a real treat for Jorg
And you can
I.
still attach like broadhead arrows, you know, barrel
Harpoon tips.
and yeah, harpoon tips. Probably you have to attach
Yeah,
a
some
rope or
line
something,
to it. Yeah,
and then you can go for some serious whale hunting.
for orcas.
Although I hear that whale hunting has a very bad lobby these days. Whoa. 397. It's almost toppling the target over. Whoa. So we got 4 arrows in, we got full pressure. We're going to test it against the zombie head. We do 4 shots in the zombie head. Let's see what happens. Right. I saw the head moving. Something came back to me. Whoa. And the last one. Shoot a little bit lower this time. Enjoy. Let's look at the damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at that. This thing is completely broken apart. Look at that. Of course, it went all the way through. Yeah, got him here in the mouth as well. Yeah, this thing has 0 chance of survival. The entire rear part of the skull is completely cracked. And funny, of course, they kind of flew through, and they're very gooey, you know. This one broke off. Right. I think we got him good.
That was amazing.
No chance.
To compare air guns to firearms, we got this dirty, hairy gun here, 44 Magnum, the real deal, and we got a huge block of ballistic gelatin, and we got 3 plywood boards molten in, and we're gonna fire hollow point bullets in the hope that they would expand and not go all the way through, so that we can see the damage, and then we can compare it to what the air gun does to the same block, hopefully shooting in from the other side. It's gonna be interesting. So this is the round. Whoa. It crashed through, it just got stuck in the third board. Interesting.
Man, whoever made this,
It's time for the whaler, also the Moby Dick killer as we call it now. So this one, of course, has about like 330 joule, so it's like half of what the Megalodon has, but of course it has a much heavier projectile. So the inertia and the momentum of this thing will be much, much higher. And also the friction in the gel block, it's going to be really interesting how it performs in comparison. Well, I guess we're going to find out in just a minute. Whoa. It outperformed the 44 mag. It outperformed everything. Look at that. That's completely amazing. I think you can really kill Moby Dick with that thing. I hit the back.
looks like just to the right of that same shot.
Yeah, I can go a little higher maybe. Okay, go for shot number 4. I think all 4 hit. But I'm still absolutely happy with that result. Just adjust the scope a little bit higher and they will be just on perfectly in the middle of the target. All right, now we have another arrow launcher. And this arrow launcher actually is completely different to the others that we have because it's like a mix. It also attaches to the HP Max, so it replaces the original barrel. But this one does not have 6 arrow tubes where the arrows go over them, but this actually has 4 50 cal barrels. So you put in the arrows into here, special arrows of course. But as a difference to the bullpup one that we saw, this one has actually fairly short barrels, so it also shoots shorter arrows. It makes it a lot lighter, but of course it will also probably reduce the energy that we can get from this. So we will clock it first and then we, as always, test accuracy, penetration and the whole thing. 598 FPS. That's 600 feet per second. Whoa! So now we got it sighted in, and again it's blazingly fast. We tried to hit that gel block, which is not a large target, from the 10-meter distance. See if we can hit it and then cause damage. That's where it is. It's like same penetration that the 44 Magnum had. Exact same penetration. And actually the tip continued to fly.
Yeah.
So the arrow crashed through and it was stopped at some point, but that didn't prevent the tip from releasing itself and continue to fly. With such a short arrow. I mean, look at that. We clocked this at an amazing 598 feet per second. So it's
fast.
crazy fast. But is it also accurate? Although I have to say these are homemade arrows, made by Phil. So I think you can improve. For example, you could just have something in the front that also centers them in here nicely. So they're just quick and dirty. So there is reserve, no matter how accurate this is today, or inaccurate.
It'll be more.
We can do this better,
Absolutely.
I think. But still, we want to see what we can hit on the 50-meter distance. So, what is the expectation?
At least the archery mat for sure.
All right, what do you
least.
think?
The arrows will be coming out pretty fast, but yeah, I think we'll be able to hit the archery mat.
Okay, well, of course, after we get sighted in, so
Yeah.
that's a given. All right, let's get to work.
I was in the board, I think.
That was really
Just
close.
below.
It hit the board?
Yeah. Really close to the dot, right? Yeah. Almost touching the dot.
I thought it was
No,
just
it
to the
was
left
just
of the dot.
on the grass.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On the grass?
Upper archery mat.
This is the group size that we shot. And without that board, we would never have been able to retrieve these arrows. The tips went on basically because it's too powerful. So this archery mat would not be able to stop it. All right, guys, it's time to wrap up the 3 arrow shooters that we haven't decided upon.
That's right.
We shot them. We shot them against targets. We shot them long range. We tested the power. We tested everything. So what is your conclusion?
Well, I really like, this, I guess I would call this the Sixbow. It's probably the closest to Phil's original design. It's got 6 arrows, or 6 shots. The disadvantage is probably the least powerful of all these 3. But I think it's a nice compact package, and it might not be the most powerful, but it's pretty fun to shoot.
Also power, I mean, just because it's less powerful than these, it goes through.
It's still
quite a bit.
incredibly powerful,
Yeah.
way more powerful than a
You're not
crossbow.
gonna, it's gonna bury the arrow all the way into the mat, so.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, you'd be hard pressed to find a halfway portable crossbow that has that kind of a power, and this has 6 of them in one package. So this is still a super powerful arrow shooter. And of course, it's still very lightweight, mean looking, I think. and of course, with the pump action makes it really fast repeating, and it's accurate. So it's a beautiful gun, but it's true. I mean, it is still very powerful, but it's not as powerful as the other 2.
It's not.
So let's talk about this little baby here. 600 feet per second.
Unbelievable.
Crazy high arrow speeds. But it has shorter barrels, so the arrows are a little shorter, and so they're going to bury themselves even further in. And there's still a little bit of question of, we're shooting sort of prototype arrows, so we got to get those dialed in a little bit better with like a real manufacturer.
I think we can solve that. I think we can make it accurate, but it is one kind of an arrow shooter, arrow eater, because when you shoot arrows that powerful and they're so short, it is very hard to stop them in a way that they're reusable. So I would, if I would offer this, then we'd probably go for really cheaply made arrows, where it's not a big deal if they're lost.
Disposable.
And of course, you can put it in a regulator, and you probably will be able to put in a different card so that you can tune it down in power for practice. Because if you shoot this at full power, I think most of your arrows won't survive.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter.
Right. So, but it's also it's like heavier than the Sixbow, of course. It only has 4 shots. It has much more power, well, it's hard to decide between the Sixbow and this one. I really have to say it's really hard to decide. Since the Sixbow partly has the same issue with short arrows that also dig in really deep into an archery mag.
And they're the same dimensions basically too.
Right. Now we have this absolutely monstrous whaler.
The Extreme. Super, super powerful, very heavy, but the arrows are much, much longer. So they have a lot more power, but you'll be able to pull them out of mats, easier than that one.
Also, they have much thicker tips, so they don't bury themselves so deep in this, but they cause a lot of more damage when you shoot them into something. Arrows are a lot more expensive too, I have to say that, but again, they survive longer. This thing is a lot heavier. I mean, it's a heavy monster.
Yeah.
I have to say, it's really heavy. So, but of course, the power is out of this world. It's
crazy.
Yes,
it's a cannon.
Outperforms the 44 Magnum.
Oh, the hate you'll receive for saying that, but it did.
Yeah.
It simply did, yeah. So I'm not sure. So
if you just want extreme power, that's probably the one you
It's
want to go
actually
with.
really a legit whaling tool. That might be the biggest market.
yeah, well, it's so help us decide. We talked about this at length, and sober, drunk, everything in between. No, I'm joking. Actually, Matt doesn't drink at all. But,
Very
no, but the thing is that we can't decide, and we can't bring all of them. Right? We have to focus.
I think we should.
So, which one of those would you like best? Which one would you buy? So, please go down to this link. It's a link to a poll where you can leave your vote. Which one would you like us to produce? And of course, we can't say much about pricing, but they will be comparable to like HP Max and so on. So just leave your vote and then help us decide. That would be wonderful. And of course, you can also leave a comment. Leave your comment and tell us what you like and why you like it. Explain your reasoning. That will help us decide, because we're currently in love with all of them, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very hard to decide.
Yeah, we would love to hear your discussions in the comments, but
And I just want to say too, everything on the table is totally unloaded. I know they're all pointed at us, and I just noticed where this one was pointing. So, if there are any comments about that, they will all unloaded.
Anyway, I hope that you like this, and I hope that you're going to help us, because that's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye.